All right, guys.
Yeah, I'm going to do the same. I'm going to do the same. I'm going to take my fucking tube back because I'm worried about it.
Yeah, I'm worried.
Hopefully we got a few viewers now.
And then I'll cry fucking.
Right, going to come back down here. See you soon.
Hang on. Ready?
So we got the semi-finals going on now. We got Marc Robertson versus Nathan Harris. Stellar effort from Nathan to make the semis. And we've got Jake McCartney versus Tim Dixon. So
they've lagged to break.
Tim Dixon's due for a good result.
So Jake dry and dumps the ball, dumps the white.
But yeah, so the cream rises to the top once again. So the top four players, very worthy of being where they are.
And these two matches and the final are going to impress upon how important the break is. Because A's dumped the white here, and these are when guys are actually going to run racks.
100%. And even when you look at Nathan Harris, like he's not the person you always see in the top four, but when you watch him play, he's one of the most consistent players that I've seen. He's a very, very worthy, consistent player. Like even when his back's up against the wall, he still plays the same pool. If you're on the receiving end of him, it's quite annoying. But all credit to him, and here he is in the top four. So well done, Nathan.
And he's not aggressive.
He's not aggressive.
He's
no,
not an aggressive player.
He's just a consistent. Yeah, he's actually a really good mindset, really good headspace, and just consistent player. So good to see. So Nathan just potted a red there, I believe. So he's actually in really good stead to win the first frame. Looking at this, so
it's a big call to start off with, Darren.
I don't think it is, Andy.
Let's not I
don't think it is. So his toughest ball is the one you're pointing at.
No, I'm not pointing at anything.
Is the one next to the yellow, but I do believe it goes into the left centre. Which he could get onto it now. It's not easy because he's going to, I think if he plays a bit of screw back on the red to the bottom right, he's going to hit the yellow, but I think he'll still clear it. I think he'll hit the bottom side of the yellow and still give him a shot on that one in the centre. So we'll see what he's looking at.
I think this one on the right-hand side, down the bottom here, he's looking at, and he can run that through and then take this red off the yellow. But again, he's not the sort of person that's aggressive enough that would actually. Oh, there you go.
There must have been a bit more angle on that than what we thought, because the white obviously shot straight up the table, whereas I didn't expect that.
Oh, yeah, no, there was definitely some angle there. Cam Lawless is just coming in and trying to scoff my lemon tart.
So Nathan's probably made that tough ball. It's probably a bit harder now than what he wanted. Like I believe he can pot it now, but it's hard to get on the next ball. It's probably a smart idea that, going for the double, because at least it left the white where it was to continue on. Unfortunately, he didn't get the pot. But he has got the security with the yellow up in the top left corner that Robbo can't obviously pot. So Robbo's got to deal with that. He's got the option of giving him 2 shots on that and covering the reds that are up that corner. So play the yellow onto the red, pop the red and cover the 2 reds that are there with his yellow. That's an option. I can't see an extraction option available to him to get the yellow out. So that might be what he's looking at. But he could play the yellow. I was thinking the yellow he's bridging over, he could play that into the centre and push that red down towards the yellow and red. So he's opted to cover the black, which is a smart idea. So it just makes, like if Nathan does go out, it makes the black a lot harder from there, because he's going to have to come down to the bottom of the table to play the black up the top. So once again, that's a lot of time, like even myself, like I was looking at this frame thinking, I've got to work out how to get rid of my coloured balls, but straight away Robbo looked at the black. So that's something we can learn from that and say, well, yeah, you're right. You can cover the black and then you've got the security that Nathan has with the red up in the top left. He's got the security there. Robbo's now got the security with the black.
Who won the first one? That happened so quickly, that first one. I'm trying to share the stream with places around the world, and
I think that's going to come into play.
I missed that one. No, that was a frame. Who won the first frame over there? Tim won it.
Can you guys focus on what you're doing and put your phone down, please, Mr. Commentator?
Don't make me come in the booth.
Yeah, and then make the commentator as well.
I'll just be reading the form guide out.
So Nathan's only difficulty here is the black. So clearly Robbo's played an absolute ripper shot just to make this hard.
Right, so I've just been sharing that around the countryside and around the world, and we've got 91 starters so far. So anyone
welcome aboard.
Anyone who's missing out on this, you got 4 top line players, all for different reasons, and the semi-finals of one of the biggest money comps in Australia. Admittedly, the field was down this year, but as far as the top 16 players were concerned, they're all quality, and everyone says it's easy to get to a grand final or a semi-final, but it's harder to win them.
Well, I've heard that. I don't know that from experience.
Why? Because you've never made a semi.
Correct. But yeah, I have heard that. Like it's a lot of mental side of it. It's not just physical ability with potting. It is like, if you can imagine yourself, 2 or 3-0 down, what your headspace is going to be like compared to if you're 2 or 3-0 up. So you can see how that comes into play, and that's where the cream rises to the top, because they've been through it, they've practiced it, they know, they've got their procedures on how they deal, with the pressures of playing finals, semi-finals, and the like.
Well, Nathan has just come up short there. He's in no man's land on this last red.
I think Jake McCartney's having a walk in the park.
Jake's getting pretty cruisy here now, so just does whatever he likes.
Probably couldn't have played that any better.
Could have been a little bit straighter and off the
1-1.
Lee, there are things called broadcasting laws and everything like that, and Lawless, I'm afraid, may jeopardise Kenny's setup. So, Lee, just go around and see Serge and mind your own business.
So I didn't actually watch the last 2 or 3 shots of Nathan's game there, but
he was
obviously handed the reins over to Marc now.
he was potting out and failed to get on the on his last colour. Yeah.
So Marc's got heaps of options here. He's obviously got a pot out option, but he's also got plenty of snooker options. So as he's just displayed.
Yeah.
So patience can be a game here, where as much as the ball's there inviting to you, and you'll feel good if you go out, and a lot of us do that, and we just go up to the table and go, well, they're all there, so I'm going to play them. But sometimes patience is the key, and you just saw what Robbo did there, and it was clearly a game of patience. He didn't need to go out. Nathan's and the best part about the snooker that Robbo played is it's not a one rail snooker out. So what I mean by that is Nathan can't get out of the snooker by hitting one rail. He has to hit two rails at least to hit the red ball. So,
but he's not. All he's going to do is just run his yellow up into the corner there and not give Robbo a shot.
Yeah, but what that almost guarantees is that Robbo gets two shots, and he's still got the snooker options he had before.
He has, but where all these balls are, I don't believe that Robbo will need to do that unless he gets sort of a bit hung somewhere.
If he chooses to be patient, if he sees the out, clearly he'll take it, but he doesn't need to. He could, the snooker's so easy here, he could do the same again and get all his balls out in the open and then go for the out. And we all know that once he does that, he's going for the snooker again. He's going to go out. So again, Nathan can't do this off one rail. If he does, it has to be with a lot of side. Play a lot of right hand side here off the bottom rail next to the number 8 to hit the red. But he's not going to pot the red from there. So Robbo will then get snooker options if he does hit the red. He's only got one shot, but he's got snooker options. But also he's put his balls out and played. So. And he's got the black cupboard.
Yeah. Just back on Nathan here. He's actually going to try and get out of this. And unfortunately he's missed. So that is good night, nurse, on that one.
So Robbo's, with patience, has brought himself into this game, and now it's a slam dunk.
Yeah, thanks, Lee.
You don't have to be the best potter to win a frame. Not saying Marc's not, he is. I believe Marc probably is the best potter in the room, but he's just made it easy.
Yeah. Just answering to Lee Rain, and we know he's done it before. He's declined today. He's socialising. So these are all on for Robbo, and
Still on, he's still got two.
Yeah, and Jake's just about to clean up here.
Plenty of opportunity there. And these shots here where Robbo's looking at now, like he was banging them in left, right and centre in the Pro Series, you may have seen. Like, they're as easy a shot as it is for you and I over the pocket. For him, like he's been playing phenomenal ball. Cueing's perfect. If you watch Robbo's cueing action, it is second to none. He probably won't be wrapped with that shot, to be honest, but he'll probably still find a way out of it, I think, especially with two. But to watch him play and watch his stance and how he cues and his elbow action and everything, it's just absolutely perfect. Even his bridge, look at his hand, how far it's spread out. Like, not many people do that.
Yeah, it gives good balance. It just makes it nice and firm.
Yeah. It's just stable, like everything. Obviously, if your cue moves a little bit, you've got potential to miss the pot. Whereas everything about Robbo's stance and his setup for the shot it's just flawless. Like, you could set a house up on his hand and it won't move.
Yeah, and that was a perfect shot to see his action from behind. Everything was just totally in line.
Yeah.
And also to have a look with Jake's feathering. You know he's on when he's feathering about 4 or 5 times. If he changes that, or if he's feathering differently, his game is out. For everyone that's asking, we'll just double check on that.
What's happened?
We'll just.
Don definitely said 4.
For what?
Race to 4.
It's definitely.
People are asking.
It's definitely this year. It's a race to 4. What it has been in the past, can't quite remember.
I think the final was best of 9 in years gone by. So yeah, race to 4, I believe, for the semis. So back to it. So we'll have a look at Jake's game now. So Jake's at the table on the left-hand side.
What's he on? What's he on?
I don't know. So I just
Oh, he's on yellows.
looked at his game now.
Yeah, this should be a pretty.
So there's an out here.
This should be a pretty good clean, pretty easy clean up for Jake by the looks of things.
Once again, the toughest table, but from the advantage from Jake's point of view is all the reds are down the bottom left, which is the hardest corner of all.
Yep, he's not taking yellows today.
So the black. So looking at Jake's game, the black. I'm not sure if it passes to the bottom left. He may have to play it either long to the top left or to the centre right.
You know what he might actually do here? He's going to play this. He's going to play this yellow into the middle, and he's actually going to promote the black. Oh no, I thought he might have promoted the black down. He's definitely going to be playing the black in the bottom right here.
He's obviously playing himself into a position where he can get a pot on the black, because you'll notice with these guys, very little you'll see that these elite guys will have a hard shot on the black. And the reason for that is there's no point leaving a hard shot on the black, because if you miss it, you're probably going to lose the frame. So they have to play themselves into a...
Wow.
Again, this is the tough table. This is a very, very tight table.
Actually, I didn't notice, and maybe somebody can, but it looked like he actually didn't feather it as normal as he did on that shot.
Quite possible.
Yeah.
And again, he probably thought it was a given shot. Like on any other table, it would have been. But I know personally that table is very tight, and he probably took it for granted a little bit.
And that's a lesson to everybody, because even a straight shot, you should have the mental side of it and treat it as if it's the hardest shot.
And that's right.
And that could have been a lapse in concentration or thinking, oh, this is easy, I don't need to do all that much. And that's when mistakes start to happen.
I think we're all guilty of taking shots for granted. How many times have you played a straight shot, 6 feet out, 6 inches out from the pocket, you've missed it, and you go, how did that happen? And you just took it for granted you were thinking about the next one, and that may have just happened to Jake, because this table is not easy. Table 10 is very, very tight.
So whether it's the pressure or whether it's a long day and a long weekend or anything like that, but this really tests people out physically and mentally, because it's not easy playing all day.
Tim's got a good chance of going out here.
He does, yeah.
The balls they're not bad. He's got to play 3 or 4 of these balls into the tough pocket.
But it doesn't seem to be as bad coming down across the bottom rail.
It's not.
It's
So
coming down the
if
table.
you're playing from the nameplate into that corner, the pocket's fine. If you're playing from the top of the table as we look at it down into that corner, it's not fine. So he's really only got that one ball, but it is out from the rail, so it's okay as long as he knows the difficulties of the game.
So we've got 177 viewers at the moment. Let us know where we're from, or where you're from.
Hopefully you're enjoying the stream. From our end it looks like good quality. Hopefully the sound's good quality. The matches certainly are. So I think...
Some may be a little bit concerned about the sound that we're making.
Well, I think the biggest issue with the stream is they can't see where you're pointing, Andy.
Hey, listen, I've had my fingers wrapped around my lemon tart eating it, so...
It looks like a pie to me, so you got your fingers in the pie.
Around the pie.
So Tim's actually mapped this out pretty well. He played that shot. He didn't have to play it hard. Whether he knew that pocket was bad or he didn't, I don't know. But
Let's see if he thumps the table. Let's see if he thumps the table like he did in the quarters.
I think he'd want to. He's due a result. Tim's never won a major comp in Australia, and he's absolutely definitely got the ability to do it. So he needs to get one day, and he certainly deserves it. He's put a lot of effort in.
Well, he's doing a little bit of a jig.
Yeah, he's happy. He's feeling good.
So yeah.
That's obviously a start, because if you're not feeling good, well, that transforms into your game.
No, it's either a beer break or a toilet break.
But good to see. Good to see him fighting at least. You know, like I think he's a worthy winner of the comp. As much as all four of them are really. Like there's no one here that couldn't win the comp.
Well, he's got two big hurdles to get over, and Jake's won. And he's got either Robbo or Nathan in the final. So
yeah, well, I think judging by the support, I think Jake was definitely the favourite to win. Robbo probably second favourite, but it's best of 7, so first to 4.
Yeah.
When you get to this level, first to 4, it's the best player doesn't always rise to the top. It's so tight, you know. You need like a best of 30. We used to see that, pre-COVID days where these guys were playing best of 33 or whatever it was. Remember back in the days when Jamie Stevens was doing the commentary and
hey, Doc.
Getting the odds up and taking bets and all that sort of stuff. And these guys were playing really, really long races. They were playing for 5-6 hours. That's when these guys feel that if they win, it's they feel they were the better player on the night. But when it comes to best of 7, well, you get a couple of bad frames or bit of bad luck against your way, and it's tough.
I actually spoke to Robbo between the quarters and the semis, and he actually said he couldn't have commentated him and Scary's game. Because I said to him, we were watching it and we're trying to work out what you guys are going to do, and you're looking at one thing or another, and then you're going to do completely the opposite. And he said that's what it was like. He said it was that difficult to try and map out because of the table. He said that's one of the hardest tables he's ever played on. So yeah, they got 6 pockets and everything like that, and so forth. But the whole thing was that he always just hooked up himself on the black.
Has he? He's got down on the shot pretty good.
No, he's hooked himself.
Run up behind it and try and snooker him back, which he should get.
Oh no, I don't think he's hit that.
Nathan give him a nod, so I don't know what that means.
Oh no, Nathan's just thumped the table, so he has hit it. That is touch. That is absolute. Oh no, he didn't.
No. Yeah.
I didn't think he did. I didn't see the red move, but then again.
So that was a foul snooker, guys.
Cycler man.
He's obviously taking ball on hand.
You are.
Got 2 shots from here.
Yeah, you are right.
The yellow. Either set the yellow up, play your second shot on the yellow, get position on the black, or back yourself to pot the yellow and take 2 on the black. So he's gone for option 1, and he hasn't worked for it.
And Cycler Man, it is 0-0. They've been struggling a little bit. We've just been asked what the score is on the right hand side. Yes, it still is only the first frame. So
doesn't even have a snooker option here because I think it's an in-off. If he tries to play a snooker, the white's going to fall on the pocket, so he's in a bit of trouble here. I don't know, and I don't know if the white's frozen on the rail.
I think it is frozen. So
It means he's got to hit a caution after he makes contact with the yellow ball. So
yeah, he's probably going to have to come off the left-hand side of the yellow, hit the jaw, kick the yellow out, and try and sit in the jaw there. But that's a very, very delicate shot.
He hasn't even got a double option because the double The double would have definitely double kissed. So
We apologise. We haven't updated the Robbo Nathan Harris score because Darren won't shut up about his idol Jake. So it's now fixed.
now I watched that interesting shot there by Robbo because I watched him line up for that shot and he really took his time to get his feet into position to play that shot. So I thought it was a slam dunk, to be honest. I actually missed the pot.
Well, semi-final of a big money comp. Nothing's easy.
No, and it just goes to show that nothing's easy. Like if we're down at the pub and Robbo plays that shot, he's getting it in every time. So nerves gets everyone.
You're right there, Ryan. We stand corrected because
So Robbo's now in a position he has to make the shot because if he doesn't make the shot, he's going to lose the frame.
oh, see, even the best jag.
Nathan will be absolutely rapt about that. He'll be buying him a drink.
He won't.
Thanks, Robbo.
Nathan won't be pulling his hair out.
No, he won't be pulling his hair out. No.
Oh, that's wowee.
There you go.
This is what pressure.
Justice was served.
This is what pressure does, people.
And one of the good things that I've known about Nathan in the time I've known him, like a shot like that would rattle a lot of people. Where Robbo's missed the pot and he's obviously fluked the ball, and the opponent, in this case being Nathan, would have got rattled over that. Nathan doesn't do that. He just walks up to the table on his next shot and plays it like he was winning the frame. So
Nathan doesn't show any emotion.
Never.
No.
And that's one of his. I reckon that's the trait that's got him into the top 4 today. Absolutely, probably one of the best players I've seen at that. Where I've never seen him slam a cue. You know, you don't see him swear when he walks away from the table. It's in his stride, and that's very important at this level.
Well, it's important at any level.
Robbo's just dumped the white there, so
Yeah,
here comes Mr. Consistent again. See what he can do.
meanwhile, Tim is not.
I'm liking yellows here for Nathan. There's no out, but the black's covered. So if you went reds, you've got to try and do something with that black.
Well, the thing about it is he's only got one visit. He could quite easily the ball that's just short of the balk on the centre right into that right hand pocket into the middle right. He can then run the white ball down and try and open that black up. It's just a matter of how aggressive he wants to get. And Nathan, I think, is a little bit too conservative to do that. He's going to take reds, and then what he's going to do, he'll probably run this, and then he'll run the one on the right rail down into the pocket,
So
or
Blake's
do that.
Problem now, he's got 2 rail balls, or 3 really. So there's the one he's looking at now, plus the 2 down the opposite corner. Probably think yellow was a better ball.
So what's Tim looking at here now? He's going to roll this red up.
It's a good shot from Nathan, so he can get rid of one of the dead rail balls. I still think the black's an issue. He could play the long shot now, the reed closest to the black, up into the top right corner, and follow through with a bit of top and try and clear the black from the yellows. And he's still got some balls to deal with that.
But he's got to make that first shot. That's.
The pot. If he doesn't make the pot, he's just cleared the yellows for Robbo. So
Yeah.
It's a tough one. You've really got to back yourself if you want to do that. But if he doesn't do that,
Yeah.
he's got the black to deal with.
Look, and again, Nathan's probably a little bit conservative as far as that aspect is concerned. So you won't see him play those aggressive shots. That's just not him. I could be wrong.
Well, you won't, because he didn't play it.
Okay.
So
yeah.
now what he can do is play the ball on the rail here down to the bottom right, and he can use the next red to extract the black, but he must make sure he gets a shot on the following red.
But again, Nathan's not that sort of player. If it was Jake, if it was Tim, if it was somebody else, yeah, I understand that. And what he was then going to be doing is
Extract the black from the next shot.
From the next shot.
But he has to get a shot on the next red.
Yeah.
Which is hard from there.
Well,
I think the result that he got was probably better than what he was trying to get.
Well, it's probably just as well he didn't pot it, because he was then going to be struggling on the next two shots.
I agree.
And again, this is where you look at the difference of people. Nathan, he doesn't appear to be looking at 2 or 3 shots ahead, whereas Robbo and Scary and a few of the other guys, that's all they're doing. And one of the first I was lucky enough, Jack Halligan come down to us in '98 when I first started playing, and that was one of the first things he said. He said there's two or three things that you really just need to look at and learn. A, never play a shot and leave your white ball on the cushion.
Tim's just sneaking himself on his last red. Sorry, Andy.
Happens to the best of us. I think people could have seen that, and there was no need to point at the screen.
Yeah.
Captain Obvious.
It's just a shocking moment.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. This guy is actually a Kiwi, and if he was back home in New Zealand, it's way past his bedtime. So, did it? Oh, it did too. The white ball's off the table. Oh wow! I think Jake's going to make him pay for that. Jake will make him pay for that. Yeah, and the other, what was I say? And the other thing was, look at two or three shots ahead. Always plan 2 or 3 shots ahead, and have a contingency plan. And Robbo is probably one of the classics at doing that. Jake, you can't tell what the hell he's going to do.
Yeah, see, even the way Jake just got himself into a position to play those last 2 yellows, look at the position he's going to get on the black. Like, that is just perfect. We're all battling to try and, use our 2 wisely. He's just made it look so easy.
Oh, little bubble there.
A bit of a wobble. But
So,
look, unfortunately, Tim did that to himself,
Yeah. So Jake's on the hill. Yes, it is. Race to 4.
So back to Robbo and Nathan.
Yes, we are aware that there's a slight problem down that left-hand bottom rail there on the table 10. So that's why we're playing the final on table 8.
It's that shocking, I reckon, an electrician built it.
Another rail, because this is another rail. You need another rail on another table.
Pretty good shot by Robbo. He's obviously still got the 2 yellows nearest the black, which is hard at this point, but he's got the security of the yellow in the bottom left corner. So he can play this one he's looking at now.
Yes.
Moved away from him, so he can play the centre and try and extract the 2 yellows from the black.
Yes, Packet is a race to 4.
Okay, I'm not sure. I can't see what he's trying to do here. Is he trying to get him behind that red near the pocket? If he is, that's insane. Very well done.
Very well done, and he's just applied the snooker.
Yeah.
Gets a little tap from the hammer.
Yeah. Yeah, even and that's good respect between the players. That Nathan respected the shot and gets a bit of a tap on the table just to show of appreciation and said, "Well done, man." So
now, what's Jake on here? He's on yellows, is he? Looks like it.
So Robbo's actually put Hammer in big trouble here.
Yeah, well, Hammer's got nowhere to go
He's got
now.
nowhere to go, and he's snookered.
And by virtue of Robbo putting that yellow inside the reds there, he's
And all sorts.
Robbo's just turned this frame around from struggling to winning.
Correct. So the favourite has switched. And that's a great shot by Hammer, but it doesn't change the frame. Like Robbo's still favourite. So obviously it could have been worse if he didn't hit red. But there was nothing I don't think Hammer could do. When I say Hammer, that's Nathan Harris, they call him Hammer. There was nothing he could do to turn the frame to make him favourite.
Yeah, well, just on that table 8, there's a comment there about the right-hand rail on table 8's cooked. Well, no one's had any problems with it since we've been streaming this afternoon.
No, I haven't
There
had
is
one this weekend.
there is pressure on that table. It's a semi-final.
Robbo just, I don't know if he tried to pot that or not, looking at where the white is. I'm not sure if he did, but he mustn't have. He didn't try to pot that ball. I just sort of caught a glimpse at the end of it, and he missed by a mile, and he didn't try to pot it. Looking at where the white was, it just wasn't natural.
That shot's now just opened it up for Robbo because he's got an easy plant here, and the ball that he's going to hit now. Well, there you go. He's played safety.
I was about to say that because I didn't think the plant was a good option, because if he did miss the plant, it meant that if he missed the plant and didn't cover the pocket, the reds were on. So what he actually played, I think, was the smarter shot. So again, the patience thing we talked about earlier, the guy's just an all-rounder. He's got the patience game, he's got the attacking game, he's got the defensive game, he's got everything. Like, you've really got to be on your game to beat Marc Robertson.
So Nathan just trying to hook Robbo up underneath that yellow, so he can't pot the bottom one on the right. And all Robbo's going to do is just glance around off maybe off the bottom cushion or maybe off the side cushion. Yeah, just slightly glance off this one around.
So he's still giving. Okay, so I missed the previous shot.
Yeah. So Hammer hooked him up behind the yellow. So he couldn't pop the one over the right-hand side.
Yep.
Robbo's still got control of this bottom right-hand side. The black will actually go down inside those reds into the bottom right-hand side or into the middle, so he's going to get rid of this one in the middle. Probably just stun back a little bit or run through and take the top ball. Now, that's not a tight pocket. That's because he missed. He knows. He actually rushed that over the shot. He took a fair time to look at it and assess it, but when you have a look at it, he actually rushed that.
So looking at the other table now, we've got Tim. He's standing at the table looking at it. I'm actually not sure what he's on because I was watching the other game.
Ouch. Ouch. Hammer has just noodled himself.
So Jake on yellow, you've got a couple of dead balls there. A couple of dead balls, and they're in the worst part of the table you could wish for, given that bottom left pocket. I don't think he wants to pop the one over the bottom left corner, only because it's blocking Tim's red, and he needs that bit of security. So he's better off to get some dead balls, like so. And Tim can't go out because, well, he can, but obviously it's hard because he wants to play that bottom left red into the bottom left corner, which he can't do now.
He can play if he actually leaves this bottom left red to the last ball, plays it into the middle, and then he's got the black into the right hand middle. I think that goes past the yellow. It's
a difficult way of going out though, and that's what Jake's left him. So yes, it's possible, but I'm going to make it as hard as I can for you and not leave you that. Jake's still got another difficult ball to get rid of, which is the one above the one on the corner. Can obviously play the cannon if he gets in position to do that. But he's got to work towards it.
Jackie Phillips, mate, that's why we love you, because you are an absolute philosopher there. You have made a fair point. And I know why you went back to Canberra.
How's that?
Because
Did he? I think he's on it. But he's got to get on the black. He's got to play a lot of bottom on the red to try and break black and yellow apart. So he's got a shot on it. Looking at his body language, he's not on the red. I don't.
Yeah, no, he is. Yep,
Okay.
He's going to come around behind it, off the side cushion and off the bottom cushion. And then he's got it fat in the middle. That's not fat, but yeah, that goes into the middle. Yeah, he needed this angle. If he was higher, he wasn't going to make it. This was actually the perfect. That's picture perfect, pinpoint accuracy. That one. And that everybody is the way that you finish off a frame.
So Tim's just made the final. Is that right?
No, it's 3-all.
3-all.
Settle down, Scooter. Just eat your chips. Eat your chips.
Chips.
Darren's eating chips
I'm not
and
eating chips. You're just pointing at stuff.
240 people know you're eating chips.
Darren. People have got he's got wedgies. He's got a full bowl of wedgies. He's got some sweet chili sauce and some sour cream. Is it?
If anyone knows me, you're probably not surprised that I'm eating chips.
I get the option to hide it or show it. Hide it.
I'm not going to sweat.
We have got the King of Geelong just peering over my shoulder. Brett Cook.
And if Hammer puts his 2 reds and the black, he wins the frame. There you go.
We're just letting people know that if you're starting to make comments that aren't related to the actual matches and everything like that, that we will be muting you. And if you keep on doing it, we're going to be hoiking you. So
Robbo's he's clearly got the yellow over the pocket, which he's got control of the pocket, but he's got to try and. There's no out if he doesn't come up with a way to deal with it. So
he's
leave that to Hammer if he can. So he's got balls to do that.
yeah.
So it's Nathan's problem to
Look,
deal with those two.
Hammer's better off now. He's going to try and kill the black down here. He's going to run the black down. That's one of only 2 shots he could have made. No, still.
The thing is with 2 shots, I don't.
So the 2 shots you get,
Yeah.
Look,
2 shots. I think Robbo goes out here.
oh, look, he does because the black. Hammer should have been relying on. Oh, look at that! The ball on the bottom left pocket dropped quite easily. Yeah, no.
Not table 8.
Oh, okay.
But it goes that way on table 10. It's the other way it doesn't go. See, I'm pointing. Can you viewers see the way I'm pointing? I'm pointing to Andy.
Where's your chips gone? Where's your wedgies gone? No. So
Leave himself 2 on the black.
yeah, look, this is going to be pretty pedestrian sort of thing, up and down the table. He wants to be a little bit lower on.
I think he can get all the way up this end of the table, get Yeah.
He can run the
right.
he can run that red past the black.
Push the black over the pocket and
Yeah.
take the second shot and put it in. Worst case, you can play rail first.
Yeah, look, Lachlan, he's there's
Rail first.
yeah, Lachlan. There's been comparisons made between these and another brand of table, and we just want to concentrate on what's going on here. There's other forums where that can happen. We've got some quality players here, and we don't want to detract from what they're playing. So,
Might go in one shot, which really.
yeah, it goes in one. Well done, Robbo. Well thought out. Robbo's just pointing out what Hammer should have done.
I think Hammer, his back was against the wall. I don't think he had a lot of options.
As soon as Hammer played that black onto his red and potted the yellow, that was a sign of a desperate man.
Yeah.
If he had have actually, Robbo had one up in the balk, Hammer's still got control of his pocket. By virtue, he had a certain amount of control over the pocket, but by virtue of him doing that, he's just let Robbo back into the game totally, and Robbo's taken advantage of it.
So the players are taking a little bit of a break. So off to the toilet, off to grab another 6-pack of beer or whatever they're doing.
Neither of them drink all that. Well, Hammer does. Hammer will have one, but Robbo's pretty conservative. I haven't seen Robbo actually have a drink this weekend. He's here to do business.
He's definitely here to do business, and he's very good at doing that. So he's a very, very hard person to beat, as we've seen.
Yes.
Is that very tarty?
Try it.
No, isn't how much lemon's in it?
It's. Sorry, someone's just checking out my lemon tart. They want to know how tarty it is.
You'd hope it was, wouldn't you?
Well,
If it was a tart, you'd hope it was a tart. Yeah?
someone, you can finish it. Tell us you can finish it.
So watching Tim now, so he's on the yellows and he's got snooker opportunities. There is an out opportunity, like, well, he was looking at the yellow before. I thought he was on the yellows.
No.
Why is he looking? So why did he look at the yellow before? Okay.
I think he's trying to figure out how he can get rid of the yellow next to the black, because that's the only place that he's got the black is in the right centre.
Could he not play the black in the same corner he's going to play the red?
I think he's trying to remove that
think he
yellow.
could.
I think he's trying to remove the yellow from
I reckon
above
that the black's on in the same corner.
Oh, pretty tight. But obviously he's pretty
he's on
confident with it. Yeah, he's
I think he's on
confident
it. I don't understand why he looked at the yellow before. Yeah, anyway, so Tim's gotten to the final.
Tim's into the final after winning 4. Yes,
Well done,
Jody,
Tim.
all over Red Rover. Lincoln, worry about the players that have made it through to the pointy end of the weekend, not the tables they're playing on. So, well said, Lincoln. We totally agree with you. So, good to have you on board, buddy.
Oh, what's wrong with
So Tim's just coming over, getting a high five, and I'm saying thank you very much for the whatever it is.
Well done, brother.
The glass of poison that you put in front of me before. So let's get back to the.
Mr. Consistency over here.
Yeah, let's get back to Mr. Conservative.
And consistency. Well, they both are.
Oh, Robbo's not all that conservative.
No, consistent though.
Yeah. Right, 255 viewers. Thank you very much for tuning in.
So once again, you look at your most difficult ball, and Nathan doesn't really have any difficult balls here. So everything goes, even the black. Like, he should be going out from here.
Look, it's just a matter of how his positioning is.
If he can follow that to play the one in the centre, as he just did, he has to win this frame.
Yeah, he needs to play this firm enough to get the white ball out, so then he's got this one on the right-hand side straight in, and then give himself a little bit of an angle on the one on the left, and then so he comes back and then pots the ball. That's great.
So he played that with a bit of top right-hand side just to square the white up.
Yeah, and
just
now
so that it wasn't a long pot.
Yeah. Now,
and like what Andy said, he's now in perfect position to get position on the last red.
Yeah, position on the last red, but also skinny enough that he can come off the left-hand cushion back over to...
From where you're pointing.
Yeah, from where I'm pointing. Now that's point number 4. So
he might have a bit of hampered cue in here.
No, he should be right. No, he's
he will be. He will be. It's just... Yeah. So he's going to have to draw... He wants a white where it is now.
Yeah, top it off the...
Perfect shot. Great shot.
Yeah, look, probably a little bit further than what he wanted, but...
By an inch.
And he could have played that skinnier, so then he would have actually had more of it.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow.
And again...
That inch meant everything, Andy. You were all over it.
Matty Boyle, they are tonight. Boyle?
So Robbo's going to punish him for this, I reckon. So he's either going to go for the snooker up at the top rail. So there's a ball dead up there. He can play that and get a snooker. Or... Because the difficulty Robbo has now is the yellow closest to the black. It's not potable. So he's I think he's gonna play the one up in the top rail just to get the snooker to buy himself some time. Get that ball out.
No, he's not going to.
Whether he does it now.
No, he's actually going to play around so he gets really good position up the top.
Get better on it.
And he's probably trying to go up the top now. He's going to play this firm, or he's going to kick that out.
Why wouldn't you do that? Let's just do that.
Yeah.
What do you reckon, Andy? Let's just do that.
He's missed by 2 ball rolls for that being a perfect shot. But now, what he's still got those 3 balls in the middle that he's got coverage of the black. So if he takes the one over the right-hand side, he's double thinking now. If he takes the one over the right hand, because that's not doing anything. That's not helping him.
No. That's a huge risk.
What that's actually going to do is give him the position on that top yellow ball to put it over the pocket and snooker hammer either down the rail. So he has to take this one.
I think he plays the one over the centre pocket and then goes for the snooker.
Yeah, that's what he's saying.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And then all of a sudden,
This is interesting to see how he maps this out because.
Well, hang on. Here we go. He can, if he's got the middle left into that left side, then all he needs to do is just bunt in behind the yellow that's on there and hook him up so that he can't get out of a one-shot snooker.
The only problem with that is he leaves hammer a one-rail snooker.
No. If he actually hooks him up on it. He's
got to get right on it.
Yeah, he's got to get right on it. He's got to hook him up on it.
Yeah, it's hard.
Or he's going to kick this out. Yeah, kicked it out.
Yeah, trying to get hard up on a ball is difficult to do.
But he didn't have to. All he needed to do is kick it out far enough so that Hammer didn't have the shot, didn't have the one cushion snooker to get out of.
Yeah.
Now Robbo's just going to pick these off like lemons because they're yellow. If they were red, he'd be picking them like cherries.
If he takes this as an out, that is absolutely massive. Absolutely massive, because I reckon every player in the room would have been looking for a safety at some point. And he's got the out from here.
Oh, yeah.
Not easy.
No.
What do you get there?
700 each.
Okay, so he would have had problems getting up the table, getting onto that one on top on the yellow, and then getting position on this ball that he's shooting for now. So that's why he's gone round that way. So lots of bottoms, screw up.
He's definitely lost the snooker option now. He has to go the out.
Yeah. Whoa. So that's what he was going for. He was going for that.
100%.
Yep.
Yeah. He'll be seething he didn't take the snooker option earlier, I think.
Yes, fatness. The yellow, the lemons of Mary's Clemens or whatever. How does that go? The bells of St. Clemens. Did that have something about lemons in it?
All I saw was a lemon tart that you gave her.
Who's her?
Her.
Who was her?
That'd be her, be my wife.
Can you name that her your wife?
What was her name? Well, how did the young ones go? It was what's that woman that keeps hanging around? What's her name? My wife, you know.
Right, anyone got some young one stories, please?
Yeah. All right, Rob had a break.
There's no sepia filter on here.
How did we go?
Must be your end.
I watched him in the Pro Series. I think he sunk like 4 balls off the break one time.
Who did?
Robbo. And so he's potted a yellow.
But apparently, yeah.
Hang on, there's 6 yellows. Why is Hammer at the table?
There's 7 yellows.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, there's 7
Do you
yellows.
want me to point them out for you?
Yeah, please, point them. Yeah.
See, there's one there, there's
so
one
the
there,
viewers
there's 2
can see.
there.
You point them so
there's
the
2
viewers
there
can
and
see.
there's 1 there.
Yeah.
All right. And this here is the white ball because you can see the little red spot on it. Can you tell me something about the white ball and the red dot?
Well, a wise man once told me that the red spots are actually got a little bit of weight behind them. So the white ball with the red spot is not perfectly weighted. A wise man told me that. Do you know the wise man?
I know many wise men, but I couldn't. It's Sunday, isn't it? Was it one of the 3 wise men? Are we getting close to Christmas, or what's the story here?
All right, so Hammer's on the yellows. So the yellows are a wise choice given where the black is. Obviously, he's got the one near the centre pocket with the reds that he's got to deal with. Goes long, obviously. I actually think Hammer's a favourite on this frame. Or there's an out here.
There is, but again, it comes back to how aggressive he is on it.
Because the reds, if he does miss a shot, the reds are not perfect. And sometimes, like, you'll see the elite players, like when they play, so you might look at the frame and you might say there's an out here, but when they play a ball, they'll play something off their opponent's ball, or they'll play the white into their opponent's ball and push it to the rail. So when the opponent comes to the table, it's even harder than it is now, which is just something that you just need to have in your game to get to this level.
Yeah. And look, I honestly believe that Hammer's just done himself a little bit of injustice there, because that first pot, he's literally killed this yellow on the left-hand side. He's only got 2 places that he can clearly pot that at the moment, and they're up and down the table. And as we've seen from the tables, a little bit out, you know, it's not going to go. So unless he can promote it now, so he plays the highest yellow ball there up to the top left, and then promotes and hopefully then kicks the red onto the yellow over to the bag. So he's done that.
Yeah, so he's left it open.
But he's left it open.
Yeah. There's got an opening there for Robbo to send it right up the guts into the corner.
And look, that's a big pocket for Robbo. He can actually overcut it, come off the rail, kick off the yellow, and then he's fat on that red into the middle. So,
but he would choose to do that because it pushes the yellow
dead
onto the dead on the rail. Yeah. So that would be his ideal shot.
So that's exactly what he's done.
Yeah.
He probably hasn't gone up far enough that he wanted to. So he's going to have to run this white around a little bit. I'm not quite sure whether that top red goes into the centre right. But that red that he's looking at now over the middle pocket, he's going to have to run the white ball around a little bit.
But the 2 reds, so they both go to the top left.
Top left, yeah.
But also, I think the top one comes to the bottom right. So he could play the centre red now and get on position and play the top of those reds to the bottom right.
Oh, it does go.
Does that go the middle?
Must.
Well, there you go. Yeah, I didn't see that from here.
No, it looked like it was a little, not enough, but
So now, looking at all the reds, you turn your attention to the black and go, well, where does the black go?
I think he's looking at that red that's in the middle. He's going to try and get around that on as the last ball, bring it down to the bottom left, and have enough angle on the black to drop that in the centre right.
Well, centre right's the only place it goes, really. So even long right, you can't get the white in a position to do that.
No. Unless he disturbs it somehow.
Exactly. So centre right's the only place it goes, and you've got to be... He's got to have a good white to do that. So he needs to get into a position on his last red to make it easy to plant the white where he wants it.
See, even where the black, like where the white is now, that's where he wants to finish up, or some sort of line straight to the black on his last, on the last ball on the black.
And how do you do that from here? I don't see an easy way of doing that. Like potting the reds, I don't think is too hard from here, but getting on the black is where the hard bit comes in. Great pot.
He tried to break all that out.
I don't think he did.
He did. I reckon he tried to knock that out. Do you see the amount of work that he put on that? He was not convinced that he could get around the table and play the shot that I was sort of talking about before. Now, all he needs to do is just run this down.
I don't think he tried to break that out before. He might be. He'll try now.
Well,
or he can follow through. Problem is the yellow's slightly in the way, but there is an angle. He can, if he could hold on. I'm going to point now. If he can hold on the yellow there, which is in the centre of the table by the black.
Yeah, but hitting that spot is like hitting a
pin
spot.
Yeah,
a spot. You know.
He's looking at it. He just wants to hit on that yellow, which is just like centre of table, straight up from the nameplate. That's where he wants to hit with the white. If he hits that, he's on for the black. Not quite.
I would have preferred to run down a little bit, even if he was exactly the same, even if he was on the same latitude as what the black was, he still got it into the middle. That was a far more difficult shot than the one that I was proposing, because he all he needed to do was run through a little bit, and he had that much angle on it, and even being a little higher, he was still going to be able to put that into the left, into the centre right. Right. But he's actually tried. He's tried to play that out of that hard of the. That shot that he just tried was the hardest out of all the options that he had.
So what he's done here is he's pushed the black and said to Nathan, he said, well, if you're good enough to go out from here, go for it. But chances are Nathan's going to leave him with the black to deal with, and it then becomes Robbo's problem again. So he'll get back to the table, but it's not going to be easy. So Nathan will just make sure he leaves himself nice and easy if Marc doesn't pot the black. Nathan could even go for the snooker here. If he plays this one, and then he plays the one straight above the nameplate, and he can get the snooker behind the other yellow, and Marc snookered on the black, I think that's probably what I'd be going for. You don't have to play to pot the yellow down on the nameplate. You just play to stop the white. So just play straight bottom of the ball now and just snooker Marc on the black, and leave the yellow. When you play the yellow, just make sure you leave it out in the open. It'll give you the best chance of potting it when Marc doesn't pot the black.
I think Hammer's looking at going for this.
I don't think so. I'd go for the snooker myself.
No, because he's looking at the
but he's got to pot the black. What's he going to do with the black?
I know that. He was going out then. Yeah, and this is fat on. Well, it's a double or a triple. He's got to get a lot of angle to put it in the bottom left.
I think Nathan would be absolutely dark if Marc pots this.
He's dark.
Yeah, I honestly believe Nathan played the wrong shot there, but
Nathan, by the way that he was looking at that second yellow, the one that was on the left-hand side, he was going out because he was looking to...
I agree with you. He was trying to go out, but I don't believe that was the best that was the best way to take the frame.
So Robbo's on the hill. It's going to be an interesting final, Robbo and Macca. Jakester?
No, Tim won.
Oh, Tim.
Yeah.
Sorry. Jesus.
Yeah.
What have you?
So potted a red off the break.
So Kenny's just wandered away for a tick, so it is 3-2.
It's not an easy out. Reds are probably better, marginally. It's a tough one. This is a very tough position for Nathan to be in, because you can play the reds, but the ones you're gonna play are gonna clear the black. So it makes you want to play the yellow, but down in the bottom left corner, the yellows are all covered by the reds. So that was a tough one.
Look, again, it's this next shot. The positioning off this next shot is critical. Absolutely critical. If Hammer doesn't nail it, get that? Hammer, nail.
So you're good at this.
Yeah, I know. I should be a pun guy. Not a fun guy, a pun guy. Yes, you're right there, Marty. And well, we've seen some snookers. So Marty Andrews was just saying that you don't play snookers in the semis. So this, as I said, his positioning on this next shot is absolutely critical for him not to lose his frame. And so it's going to be fine to run this down, but what is his next shot?
I don't see the out here.
Well, there's none now.
Yeah.
There's none now because he left the white ball too high. If he had have actually been able to play that white ball off the top cushion and bring it down further, so he's got a ball up the table, he would have been okay, and he should have been able to clear two of those that are on the left.
Yeah, that's a smart shot.
But is it?
Did he cover it? If he covered the pocket, I think
it's covered. But the whole thing is that Marc's got a lot of latitude to get back over to the right-hand side of the table and take that yellow, take his bottom red over to the left-hand pocket.
Correct. Yeah,
So-
that's but at the same time, what else did Nathan have? Like, he had to make something hard.
Yeah, but that's what I'm going back to say. That top left-hand ball, his position
To
after
get
that
position.
was critical,
Yeah, correct.
and he missed it.
Yep. So Robbo's got a few difficult reds here. So quite a few. In fact, he's got more difficult reds than not.
Keenan, that's a bit harsh.
So he's got a lot of work to do. I think he's trying to force Nathan to play the yellow he set up over the pocket. I think he's trying to force him to play that in, because there's not anything else that Nathan can do.
Well, Nathan hasn't even got a straight plan onto that.
I'd probably like splitting the red and yellow up as much as I'd want Robbo to do it if I was Nathan. But Nathan does have a little bit of security, so maybe you should split the red and yellow up just above the black. It's a tough frame to call.
Yeah,
it
look,
is.
Again, you don't know what's going through these guys' heads.
No. And we're not quite seeing the angles that they see either. So
Well, that worked out well for Nathan,
it did.
but in turn, it's also locked up his yellow that he's just put down over that red there. So it's probably just evened it up a little bit more.
I actually think Nathan's probably the favourite in this frame at the moment.
Oh, it's a big call.
Yeah, but Robbo's this red here, and again the elite players will make sure they get rid of their hard ball first, and he did.
Yeah.
That shot there is the key to turning the
frame.
favourite from Nathan to Marc.
Yeah.
Whether it did or didn't, it may or may not have now, but it might shortly.
Look,
If he left that there, that was a big problem.
If that red went 2 rolls further, and then Marc gets up the other end of the table. He's just taken those balls out. He's just absolutely taken those balls out. So one on the left-hand side of the black up the table, and maybe he's going to kick kick the red onto the yellow and put the yellow on the cushion up.
The one you're pointing at?
Yeah, the one that I'm pointing at. So he needs to make the pot, but if he can push his red onto the yellow, kill the yellow on the rail, then that's pretty much it. So this is a money ball, this one.
I think at this point he's I don't know if he's wanting to break those two, the red and the yellow. I don't know that Robbo wants to do that because he can't gain from that, if that makes sense. He has to do it off another ball.
Yeah.
To gain from that, and at that point he couldn't do that. So
he hasn't given Hammer a straight pot here. So he hasn't got a straight pot. The only thing he has got is this one on the bottom rail, whether he either plays it sort of slightly left with some bottom to knock his in, but then where does that yellow ball go to? So that was a good result for
was.
Marc.
Yeah, I think he's almost turned the frame to favour
to his advantage.
Yeah,
Yeah,
his advantage now.
Yeah, certainly.
And that didn't help, unfortunately.
Not when you kill your own balls.
No. So,
but again, he hasn't given Marc a straight pot.
He hasn't given him a shot. No.
But the whole thing also too is now Marc can run his reds. His reds and kill the yellow. Now, remember I was saying before.
He can afford to split those balls now.
That's what he's going to do, and he's going to put the yellow on the rail up towards the ball.
Before it probably wasn't viable for him, but now he's got so many yellows covered with his reds, he can afford to do this.
Oh, that didn't go as planned.
Yeah, I still wouldn't call it bad. Like I think.
Yeah, but it didn't go as planned. What his plan was to put that yellow on the top right hand cushion.
Yeah.
And so he's got two dead balls
if he
there.
killed that yellow, it would be perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, Nathan, now I'm not sure if the top yellow on the left actually passes to the middle. If it does, he could play that and extract the yellow closest to the red on the left to put that in a potable position, even if he had to cannon it onto the bottom right. I'm not sure if that's an option because I can't see the angle from here. The one that's dead on the rail nearest the black, he obviously wants to play that down the rail to the bottom right.
Well, right at the moment, the one over the bottom right-hand pocket is not doing all that much. It's stopping that red from near the black coming down there.
So he's looking at playing the cannon now down the rail, and that gets rid of one of his bad balls. But if he plays this with top, he brings the white out below the black, and he's got the centre options, assuming they're on, because I can't tell from here.
The bottom one, the bottom yellow, and near the black spot. That's into the middle.
Yeah, that one is.
Yeah.
It's the other one.
No, the other one's not. I think the only option on that one's up the table.
Yeah. So if he has to get on position for the other one, he needed to play 10 times harder than that, which he wouldn't want to do.
That's actually just worked out really well kicking out there, because he can cut that yellow across now and then close up this bottom left pocket.
He could cover the pocket with that, yeah, which is a good option. And such a level-headed player too. Like
even if it does drop, he may have some position. Well, that high yellow certainly doubles into the middle. He's going to play that double now.
Shot.
That's just
that's a great shot.
Yeah. That's just pretty much won it for him now, I think.
He'd be spewing he's not straight on this yellow into the centre, though. If he was straight on this yellow into the centre, he'd be loving life. So now the white's going to sort of drift up the table, and it's going to be hard. It's going to be hard.
No. What?
Do you play it long? I'd play it long.
I was thinking you'd play it long.
I'd play it long
and then hold on that red. But this is okay
so
too.
Now he's going to want to bounce up the rail and play the black in the same pocket.
Yeah, that's exactly right. So he'll play.
Even if he plays a white between the reds,
he'll
could
play.
you do that?
He'll play a little bit of left-hand side on this, and then just bounce it up nicely.
Well done.
That's it.
Yeah, good pot.
That's well thought out. That. Now remember, he missed a fairly easy black before.
Don't say that now.
But just I'm saying a black ball.
He deserves a pot.
The black ball is the hardest ball.
Correct. Because it's the only black one.
Yeah. The shot has been a bit bruised. That is Hill. Well, you certainly can't deny that there've been good. Certainly can't deny that there've been some good matches.
The only person I've ever hit in my life was in about 4 years ago, and he's about Chris's height. And I got over shit. Nah, some guy fucking was having a go at me and Dale Gifford at Sweethearts at 4 in the morning. And he went to go to his back pocket, and I was like, I don't know what he's pulling up.
Right, so Hill dump the white. Ooh. Reds are looking sensational here with a visit from the line. So honestly, so this takes this one on the right into the middle. Now I'm only just guessing here. There might be some logic. One in the right and hold it a little bit and then work down to the bottom. Clear some balls up there. Top left, middle left, come down the table. He's got a triple plant into this bottom right. He's probably not too confident about trying to bridge over there.
Careful.
Go, yes. Hey.
Just go, Gaz.
Been watching too much of that country music, mate.
Lisa's was the best, but it's dry. Out of 3 because I had a crack.
So I think he looks like he's going to run this into the middle, stun it back a little bit, and then he's got the triple plant into this bottom right. This could well and truly be hammer in, Robbo out. So just got to
the one next to the black. It goes in.
Oh no,
No?
he's no. Wow.
Okay. Robbo's still up against it here, though.
Robbo actually, no, Robbo, he actually didn't get past the yellow. He's clipped the yellow on the way through. So it must have been that tight. And he's played it fairly firmly as well. So he may have lost a little bit of control with the cue.
So if you're Robbo here, you're thinking to yourself, well, I've got some work to do. So there's an opportunity, a very slight one, to play the yellow onto the red and give hammer 2. You got to get into position to do it.
Not foul snooker him.
Correct. It's a tough ask. He's got a lot to do here.
Unless he plays this one into the centre left. Plays this one into the centre left. Plays the one into the top right, and then the one that's on the top right hand rail down into this bottom right-hand corner here.
So Mick Skerry just pointed to us and said, take the pocket.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. If he actually had been out a little bit further, playing straight onto that one that's up the top there on the right-hand side, then get him behind that yellow
Is he
that's up
playing a
there.
cannon?
He must
Is he
be.
going for the
Oh,
out?
no.
Oh, okay, I didn't realise that went.
He hasn't hooked himself, that's fine. Robbo's going for it here.
It looks like that.
Yeah. He's going to come back and play that yellow in the same pocket.
Same pocket, yeah. Look at that.
And he's fat.
Look at that.
Oh, look, that is a master stroke, that. He couldn't have played it any better because he's got a slight bit of angle and then he's going to force the white up the table a little bit without
And when the
having
white
much cork on it.
when the white ball's like crossing the line of the shot at 90 degrees, to stop right where you want to stop is so hard to do. And you watch, like, when you watch 9-ball players, they always tend to run the white towards the shot, which is quite interesting to watch. But when you have to play the white ball across the line of the shot, you just have to stop so close to where you need to be.
This could be good or bad. Oh, that's
Look at that.
sensational.
This is finalist at its best.
Yeah.
Like, this is... He's still got the black to deal with. I mean, it goes bottom left, I guess.
Bottom left,
Yeah, it does
or-
go bottom left, yeah.
Or he's going to come right down the table and take it up either the top left or the...
I think he'll go bottom left, given where the two yellows are left now. Like, he's actually in a better position now. He's worked himself into this frame very, very well, because where he was before was very, very tough, and now, look, he's now favourite 100%.
He's going
He
to check
puts
this.
us up
he's
on the
gonna
rail
check
next to the
this
centre
out.
pocket. Look at that.
All he needs to do is just screw it back down to the centre pocket. Yep.
That is unbelievable play. Unbelievable. He did this at the Pockets Pro Series. I haven't spoken about it, but well, not recently, but the Pockets Pro Series is just absolutely awesome to watch. And look, he hasn't left himself a hard black, which is what these guys always seem to do.
He probably would have preferred to be down
Oh, a little bit.
over the centre pocket.
But given where he started his shot, like that's a great result to end up there. So
Yep.
now he's got a chance to win the match, and he should take it. Brilliant. Absolutely
that is a
brilliant.
sensational out.
That is absolutely superb.
That was a
and-
sensational out.
Hold your head up high, Hammer. You did so well.
If anyone wasn't impressed with that out, they're blind.
Yeah. And even Hammer now, like, I'm looking at the
So
table now.
we're going to have a little bit of a quiet break for a couple of minutes, and then we'll be back. Intermission, yes. Mrs. Harmon said we were allowed to have an intermission.
I'm looking at the table,
I'm
and
not quite sure what that means.
Regroup and work out who to, barrack for in the next game.
Yes. So we've got Temujin Dixon is going to be playing against Robbo. And that's it. Gus,